the moment that I have that thought, I then want to turn away from it. Like, instead of remaining in that stuck place and feeling frustrated, really thinking carefully, like, how can I problem solve this? Good morning, gentle viewer. Thank you for joining me on another Makeup and Manuscript Monday, where I get ready for the day and talk about that writer life. So let's get started. Now, I'm having some full-blown seasonal allergy situations going on, so I'm not going to be putting on a whole lot of makeup today. My normal makeup routine is already very minimal, so this is going to be even more minimal than that. But I am going to start with some moisturizer, and right now I'm using the Olay Regenerist Regenerating Serum, and this is the fragrance-free formula. It's really hard to find stuff that's fragrance-free, and I often choose Olay products because they have a lot of fragrance-free versions of their skincare products. So last week was not a very productive week for me in terms of writing. I'm at this point where I'm doing the secondary draft and just feeling very blocked and unable to see how to work around the plot problems that I have. And there's always a point in the secondary draft where I can't see how to fix all of the problems that I have with my plot. It's kind of like I have a point A and a point C, but I can't figure out how to best connect those 2 points. So I took a couple of days to do some brainstorming on some possibilities, and I also free wrote a couple of scenes just to see how they might play out. And neither of those was really working out for me, and those are usually my go-tos when I'm having this sort of problem. So since neither of those 2 tactics was working out, I reached for the next tool in my arsenal, which in this case is reaching out to fellow writers and brainstorming some possibilities. And I spoke a lot last week about the importance and the difficulties of writing groups and writing friends. Each of them is going to come back with different ideas, and the more ideas I can then try out, the more likely I am to find a solution that works for me and for this particular manuscript. Now, with seasonal allergies comes some major dark circles and puffy eyes. So today I'm going to try this. This is the Garnier Skin Active Clearly Brighter Anti-Dark Circle Eye Roller. Now, before starting this video, I popped this into the fridge for a few minutes, so it'll be nice and cooling on my under eyes. So in talking to one of my writing cohorts, one of her suggestions was that I need to basically step back and analyze my characters' motivations and their personal reasons for getting from point A to point C, and I thought that was a great idea. And her suggestion was basically to step back and kind of do like a character diary or a character journal, or write from that character's viewpoint. And even if you don't ultimately end up using the things that you write, getting into that deep POV and really getting to know your characters, it'll make it obvious what their next course of action is going to be. Next, I'm going to use my tinted moisturizer. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. And then I'll blend it in with my beauty blender. This is a Real Techniques beauty blender. And the character diary advice is one I've read online before and one I've heard other writers giving. And I think this kind of exercises are very necessary and very helpful. At the same time, they can be very hard to do, because you say to yourself, well, why would I spend the time and the energy working on a piece of writing that's ultimately not going to make it into the book, that's not going to get published? As I was talking to another writer, and she likened it to the way athletes run drills. You're running through tires, weaving in and out of cones, practicing certain kinds of kicks. And it seems like they do the same basic skills over and over again, but that's because when it's time for the game, those skills are then automatic. They don't have to think about them. So in that same way, there are certain basic skills that I, as a writer, also need to make sure that I'm running myself through them. And instead of thinking of them as a waste of time, thinking of them as a way to bolster my strengths and to conquer my weaknesses. not allowing that sense of frustration to then make me turn away from my writing. Instead, I need to pause and really think carefully about like, okay, what tools do I have in my arsenal to deal with this? Are there tools that I haven't explored yet? Can I ask for some advice, for some help? Like, instead of remaining in that stuck place and feeling frustrated session after session and day after day, really thinking carefully like, how can I problem solve this? Because I think it's very easy in the midst of a writing session to think, man, this is really hard. The moment that I have that thought, I then want to turn away from it and think, I should be doing something else with my time, or I'm no good at this. Maybe I should go and get a real job, quote unquote. And instead of doing that, pausing and thinking to myself, yes, this is hard, and sometimes it's going to be a struggle, sometimes it's going to be difficult. So it might not be fun, but it is going to be worth it. Now I'm going to just set my face with just a little bit of powder. Next I'm going to do my eyebrows with my Ulta Ultra Slim Brow Pencil, and this is in the color dark brown. So I haven't actually started the work on the character diary yet. Ideally I'd work on it a little bit tonight. So what I'm thinking is just making it a very relaxed, casual writing session. So I might do it by hand in the living room, like while my husband's playing video games or something like that. That would be very relaxing, very chill. I actually love when my husband plays video games and I can write in the living room while he's doing that. Video games just make a really great background noise, and they're designed to do that. The music in video games is designed to let you zone out and work on whatever task you're working on while that's playing in the background. If you also like to write to video game music, leave me a comment and tell me what are some of your favorite video game soundtracks to write to. Now I'm not going to put on any eye makeup just because my eyes are very sensitive right now, but I am going to go ahead and curl my lashes. Okay, and I'm going to finish off with just a little bit of my LA Colors lip gloss, and this is the color Coral Crush. It has like a cherry bubblegum sort of scent to it. Alright, that's gonna conclude my get ready with me for the day. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. I hope your week is full of creativity and positivity. If you have some suggestions on how to work yourself out of a plot hole that you've dug for yourself, leave them in the comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!